And now I'm going to harm myself for your entertainment. But we're not just here for the money, we are here for the people. But I figure if YouTube's gonna pay me, then maybe I should start making videos again.
That was so painful.
Chapter 2: The Many Faces of Rachel the Influencer, Part 1. In this chapter of our tale, on the princess's 18th birthday, the king and queen revealed a magical corridor that she'd never noticed before, lined on both sides with doors of every shape and color, hundreds of them extending as far as the eye can see. Each one glowed with quiet possibility. Each one whispered of a different path, a different future, a different version of herself and who she may become. The king and queen had always told her she was destined for something extraordinary, and standing in that corridor, she felt certain they were right. She could feel it beckoning to her. She just had to find the right door. And so she began to open them. Each new threshold she crossed, she announced with great ceremony, for what was discovery without an audience? She stepped into the rooms full of wonder, gathered what caught the light, and held it up for her subjects to admire. But the rooms asked things of her that she hadn't expected. They asked for time and patience and the willingness to be ordinary before becoming exceptional. Door after door, entrance after entrance, each room left abandoned by her. Occasionally something would make her pause, a fleeting thought that she couldn't quite name, something that felt almost like excitement or urgency or maybe even fear. And then it would pass, and she would reach for the next handle. There was one door that glowed differently from the rest. Inside, she found she could do something rare. She could take what she knew and place it gently into another person's hands so that they understood it as their own. Her subjects leaned forward, imbued with a sense of bravery and knowing. For a moment, the room was full of something that had nothing to do with being the most, or the first, or the brightest, but the crowd was not yet large enough to show her what she was holding. She didn't recognize the gift without the validation to confirm it. And so she stepped back across the threshold, pulled the door quietly closed, and continued down the corridor. Behind her, the light under that particular door stayed on just a little longer than the others. Then it too went dark. Welcome back, Nuggets. This mother clucker's got some thoughts. Let's ruffle some feathers and get into this video. And if you would like to support my tiny pullet of a channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype this video. And please check out my other social media platforms and go check out my other videos while you're here. Okay, my nuggets. So this is chapter 2 of Rachel Reacts Historical Deep Dive, and my boys are already in the crowing party kind of mood, so they are all saying hello to you. Now, this was originally going to be one video that covered all of her. Basically, she just threw a whole bunch of shit at the wall and waited to see what would stick, what would get the most views. And over the series of a few years, she tried so many different things. I was going to put it all into a single video to cover these years because she was fairly sporadic with her posting. However, there was a lot of telling stuff in these videos, so I've decided to make sure to give everything its due time. I've split it into 2 videos, especially that second video where she really gets into her religious background. I really wanted to spend some time on that. Now, before we get into it, I just want to do a super quick channel update. I'm going to give you time codes and chapters to skip if you don't care about this, or if you've been in my lives, you've heard all of this already. But I wanted to get through to the nuggets that don't prefer live streams and just explain what's going on here a little bit. So you've probably noticed that my video production's gone down a little bit, and I want you to know that I'm not moving to being a live stream exclusively only channel. Just with some health stuff getting in the way of producing videos, I'm literally doing the best I can with it all, but I want you to know that I haven't been happy with my output, and I will be aiming to get that back on track as health things clear up. So rest assured, the Eugenia series is going to keep going. The Rachel series will be a lot shorter than the Eugenia series, but that's going to keep going. And we've also got the live streams going on. Now, one other thing as well, if you're a financial supporter on Patreon, Twitch, or YouTube, you have access to a Discord where we're actually doing members only live streams once a week as well. Now, I'm about to also start streaming these on Patreon. So if you have been thinking about wanting to support the channel, but you don't want to deal with the Discord and you still want the members only content, Patreon is probably the place for you. I've literally set the memberships as low as I possibly can. And then I've matched them on YouTube and Twitch as well. So go check that out if you want to. And you can, the if you can is really important. But otherwise, you being here watching my videos is more than enough support. Thank you so much. Okay, without further ado, let's get into this one. Okay, so today, what I've done, rather than going through directly chronologically, I've categorized Rachel's various influencer endeavors. And why I've done that is because there were just so many and they were kind of intermingled throughout time. So rather than jumping backwards and forwards in time constantly, I've kind of roughly put them together in the order that they were delivered within their category. So today, we're going to go over a little bit more of her piercing time, although a lot less focus on the actual piercing and more focus on Rachel being Rachel. And then we're also going to touch on her time as a Lush influencer. Yes, you heard me right. Her time as a hair influencer and her time as a makeup / beauty influencer. So I'm not going to show you every single video because especially her piercing videos, a lot of it is like literally just her talking about piercing and nothing else. So what I've done, the stuff of interest, we're logging activities that are important. We're logging things that are telling of her behavior. We're logging things that are just a little bit cringe because let's be honest, that's a little bit fun. And yes, we will go from there. Okay. So in my last video, we covered pretty much all of 2014, which was her first year on YouTube. In 2015, Rachel tried a little bit of a quirky personality, shall we say. And here's some examples of what I mean.
Cheers. The septum. We'll begin in a minute or two when I've had some Dr. Pepper. There seems to be a running theme. Hello. Your parents are obviously important. They raise you. You have to respect them. But sometimes they don't want you to express yourself. Let's zoom on into my face. Is this close enough? Should we get a bit closer? I feel like we're friends, right? I mean, this isn't too close. Oh, there it is. Okay. What's turned up?
A Grey's box.
A Grace? No, you cancelled it.
I've got to cancel it.
Right, I'm filming, so shush.
My daughter registered me for Grey's and I've still got a bloody box of it downstairs.
Thank you, Dad. You know, that might make the cut.
So, I mean, look, this was very much the flavor. Eugenia was doing this in this year as well, and it was just kind of a vibe of a thing that people were doing online in 2015. Also bearing in mind that she was 19 through this phase, and who of us did not do cringy things when we were 19? Fortunately, I think most of us, considering my main demographic here is millennials and Gen Xers, we do not have video logs of said cringy nature. There was also a video that I just wanted to touch on because she thought this was fantastic content. I sat through and watched all of it. In fact, I sat through and watched every video in its entirety, totaling over 7 hours of footage. She had a video up that was literally her going through all of her plug collection, like her earplug collection, over 50 plugs in total, and very thoughtfully arranged into movies, animals, plain plugs, snow globe plugs, flower plugs, custom or bespoke plugs, glitter plugs, not to be confused with snow globe, this is stationary glitter plugs, music, art, tunnels, movie references, crucifixes, and miscellaneous. Look, there's no point to this, really. The fact that I had to sit there and watch it, you know what? If I have to see it, you do too. Just a heavily edited version of it. Okay, but let's get into the actual behavioral elements, the things that are telling about who Rachel was at the time, her thought processes, and what she was going on about. I'm also going to make sure that I put in the date at the bottom of the video, whether the video was deleted or not, because you know what? In one of my live streams, I posed that what Mr. Chukin thought was happening about this mass deletion that she did was referencing what had happened at the end of a Jack Reacher video. And there was one singular target, but the sniper actually took out many targets in order to hide who the actual target was. And I think that is actually what she's done with these videos, because some of the videos that had been deleted were fairly benign. Some of them were very not. And I think she was absolutely kind of trying to conceal in a mass deletion what she was actively trying to get rid of. And this video, I think, was one of them. When you first look at this video, you're like, oh yeah, it's like a 19-year-old trying to be quirky and cute, and there's not really that much to it. But then with the context of the smugness and everything that went down, it starts to look in a different light. And I have no doubt that this video was copping some comments, shall we say.
Hello. Your parents are obviously important. They raise you. You have to respect them. But sometimes they don't want you to express yourself. They don't realise that what they're stopping you from doing is expressing yourself. They just think that they're protecting you. They don't want you to look stupid. When they tell you you're going through a phase, you probably are. I know it's hard to hear. And you think, I'm not going through a phase. This is who I am. The truth is, none of us know who we are. I guess we know who we are now as much as we can.
So this whole video is basically 19-year-old Rachel in her infinite wisdom addressing minors in not necessarily the most appropriate of ways. This video is the first, at least that I can tell, because I am aware that there has been a repeated deletion of videos throughout Rachel's history online. But as far as I can tell, this is the first one that actually shows that she has tattoos, and the positioning of this video, the way she's framed it, clearly to me is like, hey, look, I have tattoos. Look how quirky and alternative I am. And so she's there delivering her 19-year-old wisdom to youths while also flexing that she's got a tattoo. It just, look, the whole thing, it's deliciously cringe. I'm sorry about all of the lip smacking, I really am. But this is Rachel in all of her glory at 19. What can I say?
When it comes to body modification, parents don't want you to do anything permanent that you can't take back when you grow up. Because your parents know that you're going to change as you grow up. They understand that. Most of the time, what they're trying to protect you from is making changes that you can't take back.
Also worth noting here, it turns out that this whole eating on camera thing, it recurs a few times over these years. It's not new. It's not just for Emily.
I see, 12-year-olds with tapers in, and I think, actually, you don't know if you might change your mind. And I don't know. I could change my mind. Yeah? You might want your ears stretched to 2 inches. But first, get your nose pierced. Get your earlobes pierced. Make sure that they know that you're responsible, that you'll take care of it. Nobody is going to wipe the pus off your piercing apart from you.
So this entire thing is basically aimed at youths who are trying to convince their parents that they want a piercing or a tattoo or whatever. Definitely deliberately aimed at underage people. And so her message is show them that you are responsible enough to look after it. Get your nose pierced, Rachel. Rachel. Oh, you can see why it's deleted, right?
When you turn 18, you will want different things than you want at 14. And that is a fact. When I was 14, I wanted the words "only ever love" tattooed on my wrist. If I had that now, I would fucking hate it. Don't be that guy who got that shit tattoo. You're better than that.
And yet, I'll just say, this is her several years later in 2020.
Like a bunch of my tattoos now, honestly, I just regret them, which is awful because I always thought I would never regret them. I would always be like, no, when I get older, I'll see them as like part of my story or whatever. But there's no fucking story to this giant stag beetle on my arm.
Yeah. But she's proving her own point. It's fair. It's fair.
I hope my chewing didn't annoy you. I'm about to go out. I wanted some sustenance. I also watched Jurassic World. It was good. No spoilers, but I was disappointed with the ending. Let me know what you thought. I hope this video was helpful. Until next time, I'll see you later. If you've got any questions or you want to know any advice, comment. I reply to everyone.
How did you go with that? I have to say, look, it's one of the more cringy videos she put out. I did play more of it than I'm going to play of other videos in this, but it was so much. Like, she even made sure to check that her tattoo was in frame, and it's just, look, it's unfortunate that Rachel has a video catalog of this going on because, like I say, many of us went through this kind of phase and we did not. Because, you know, it's worth remembering that one is at one's peak intelligence in their late teens. You're never going to be smarter than you are in that moment. Now, shortly after this, in 2016, she actually did do a video all about her tattoos to that point. This video she actually deleted before I was able to get access to it, and unfortunately the Wayback Machine did not capture it. It did fairly well, like 12,000 views. I wish I had this information. If anybody was around at this time and you know why this video was deleted, I would be really, really interested to know, because she has a tendency to cleanse her history. And what I mean by that is, if there's something that's attracting too much negative attention, if she decides that she doesn't like who she was portraying at that time, those kind of things, she will absolutely delete them instead of leaving them there and saying, look, this is actually my growth, which in this context would have helped her if she can demonstrate that she is able to grow. Because so far, my biggest criticism of Rachel has been that there's no growth. She is in full grips of arrested development. She's not learning from her mistakes. She's not allowing things to change her. And to see this kind of repeated history cleansing is just backing that up. Okay, so let's continue on to more deleted. Actually, a lot of these are deleted videos, as you've probably seen. But this is where she actually starts in 2016 to alienate her audience. And interestingly enough, it starts to get reactions out of people. Are we shocked?
Since I've had my YouTube channel, the thing that I predominantly have been talking about is piercings, body modification, ear stretching, facial piercings and stuff like that. And recently some of you guys have noticed that I have taken out almost all of my facial piercings. So recently I have retired my labret, my medusa, my tongue, my septum, my nose on my right hand side, my second earlobe piercing on this side, and my tragus on this side. And recently I've just realised that I'm growing up and I'm not really interested in being that person anymore. I want to be myself, and for me that wasn't having loads of facial piercings. I also changed the colour of my hair, and I don't know, I'm just trying to look a little bit less crazy.
So bear in mind that up to this point, her entire YouTube channel was based on piercings. And I'm not at all saying that people shouldn't grow and change as they grow. I absolutely think that that should be the case. But the issue here, and probably why this was deleted and why she got backlash from it, is because she just alienated all of that audience that has been supporting her up to that point by essentially saying that they look crazy, right? And it's absolutely fair to make a pivot on your channel or to even start a new channel and let your other people know about it so they can find it if you want to try something new. But this take to saying that her entire audience looks crazy, it's not it. It's really not. And we can see that even back then, this is 2016, this is 10 years ago, she was still making the same sorts of mistakes that she's making today, proving that she just doesn't learn. And the reason that she doesn't learn, I believe, is because of a very sheltered upbringing where, if you watch my last video, you can see there's evidence that when something goes wrong, it's blamed on somebody else. It's somebody else's fault. And does that sound familiar to anybody, that particular coping mechanism? And we're actually going to see in the next video that we cover, her language shifts a little bit. So yeah, she got backlash for this.
I'm totally the same person. Like, I don't want people to think I'm changed. I'm the same, but I've just decided that I want less metal in my face. I hope that's something that you guys can be cool with and understand. I just wasn't digging that kind of heavily scary, pierced look on myself.
So I haven't changed. I'm the same person. I just don't want to look crazy anymore. is the message that this video had. So then moving on, 6 months later, she actually effectively did the same video, and it was talking about the retired piercings again.
Yo, so as you know, my YouTube channel used to be all about piercings, body modifications, tattoos, stretched ears, etc, etc, etc. Since then, I have lessened the amount that I have. I'm still super interested in them, I still really like them, I still know quite a lot about them, and I still think they're beautiful on other people, but I just want a slightly less like modified appearance, and that's just what I've gone for.
So 6 months later, you can really see that the language has softened a little bit. And if this had have been the language in the first video, I tend to think there wouldn't have been as much backlash as she was experiencing. And I have a little bit more evidence for the backlash as well coming up. Keep this in mind. 2016, I don't think was a great year for Rachel's experience on YouTube. I think it was a bumpy ride. Yeah, there's more coming.
I wanted something a little bit more subtle. That's just kind of the look I was going for, and it was quite a lot of maintenance and upkeep and cleaning and changing jewelry and matching jewelry and things falling out, and just kind of decided that I didn't want to have as many piercings anymore. I still love massive stretched ears on other people. I love Medusa piercings and all that good stuff, but I have decided to not have as many myself. I've also noticed that it's getting like super cool and in to have loads of piercings and big stretched ears, and everybody has stretched ears now, and I don't know, I just feel like it's less special than it was a while ago, so I've decided to not have as many as I had before. I hope y'all can be okay with that. Did I just say y'all? That's not a word I ever use. I hope you guys are cool with that.
So this really shows her mentality at the time as well. She doesn't want to do the heavily modified look because it's becoming more common and it's not unique anymore. And I think that being part of a little bit of an alt community myself, I am an alt chukin. I think that a lot of people do the alt thing for a lot of different reasons. But this is coming off as a little bit poser. It's like, I only want to do something while it's considered alternative. It's not because it's who I am authentically. It's not because it resonates with me. It's not because that's how I want to be presented to the world for whatever reason. There's so many reasons people do this, but she wants to do it because it makes her quirky. Right? And I don't necessarily think that that's an uncommon thing at this age either, because we're still in 2016. She's 20 at this point. So maybe a little bit behind the quirky timeline. I don't know. You tell me what your experience is of this. But it's worth keeping in mind because it's telling, right? Rachel wants shock factor. Rachel wants people to look at her and go, wow, that is a standout to everybody else. And that is telling based on the way she handles her degree in present day. It's telling based on the whole screenshot incident that went down. You know, all of this has a common thread in a behavioral analysis way. You can see how everything she does is because she wants to be unique. She wants to be a standout. She wants to be the best. And she herself said in one of those Discord screenshots that was leaked was, I leaked the best tea that's been leaked in GorlWorld for years, when it wasn't. But she needs to believe that. She needs to believe that she is better, or offering something better, or just more than everybody else. And that is a very interesting currency to layer over what we've been seeing with the whole Amber and Emily trifling in their relationship and things like that. So yeah, I think it's important to highlight that these personality traits that she has, that really a lot of people find relatively unappealing and like grating, especially considering some of the topics that we cover in GorlWorld, were rooted in her even 10 years ago. Now, in September of 2016, there was another deleted video that I can't access that also got quite a few views, entitled "Dear Helen, Stretched Ears Don't Smell, a Response." And it's not so much what this video was or that it's deleted, but the fact that you can tell that there is snark behind this title. And we're going to see in a couple of other categories that we run through that around this time in September of 2016, she was getting really snarky with her viewers. But I think that this is actually off the back of the previous deleted video that we saw, where she said that she doesn't want to look crazy anymore. And then 6 months later, or 7 months later, she is really starting to get sick of her viewers basically calling her on her shit, right? That's what they're doing. And this is how she was dealing with it. Keep this in mind. I will reference this again as we move through. Now, in 2018 through to 2024, so quite an expansive time, and we're talking about a 22-year-old Rachel through to a 28-year-old Rachel. Keep that in mind. So we're not necessarily talking about a super young woman by the end of it, but she started doing this series where she basically was shoving piercings into previously closed holes. And it's weird. It is really weird. Look, maybe if you're in the piercing community, you can tell me, is this just something that people like to watch? Because to me, from the outside looking in, it's just odd. But these videos did really well, like really well. There's also some life update stuff in between that we'll cover as well. But let's have a look at this particular type of video she was covering.
Oh, hi. You just caught me in the middle of scratching my eye. But it's fine, don't worry. I know why you're here. You want to see me shove in my septum ring? Great, I'll do that then. This is gonna fucking hurt.
Fuck. That is so painful. Fucking hell. Alright, let's try again. Fuck.
Oh, motherfucker.
That hurt. Wow. Holy shit. That hurt almost worse than having it pierced. Oh, man.
Well, I'm gonna put the ball on. Ooh.
Cool, well now that's done. I'll make another video in 6 months. Bye.
So, I mean, I don't know. Look, tell me what you think. But this video got over 20,000 views, which is really respectable because she was still a very small channel at this time with well under 10,000. I think in 2018 it was around 5,000, 6,000 subscribers. So that's a well-performing video for a channel of that size. But she also, I just wanted to leave in there, is referencing that she is being intermittent with her uploads. And that is, I think, the main reason why, especially over the COVID time, why her channel didn't pick up steam, because you need to feed the algorithm. It's how all of the platforms work. But she was being very intermittent and kind of just living her life. She was studying at university, and yeah, there were things going on. So let's just continue with this theme. This next video is the same kind of video, but she does actually talk a little bit about her life in it, which is good for insight as well as to how she was feeling, what she was doing at this particular time.
I'm actually kind of just questioning, am I really about to do this? The trauma that I got from the septum piercing was a lot. It really hurt, and I think this is gonna really hurt. I thought to spice it up, I'm going to shove my libret piercing back in. Some people found it funny when I shoved my septum back in, so it's time to shove the libret in. By the way, I've decided, before I do this, I'm just going to tell you some stuff. So I decided to like get serious-ish about my YouTube channel because I love making videos, and every now and then, like every month recently, YouTube pays me and I'm like, money, I'll make videos. Not that money is the only reason I'm making videos. It really isn't. I really do like love making videos. It's just fun and enjoyable. But I figure if YouTube's going to pay me, then maybe I should start making videos again. So that's what I'm going to do. I find it very like fun and therapeutic and enjoyable.
People don't sit in their office and edit for like hours and hours and hours a day for just for fun. They do it to make money.
So I left this in for reasons, my nuggets. And if you know, you know, right? If you don't, you need to go back and watch my entire Rachel playlist. But I actually clocked her 3 times over these years mentioning that she doesn't do it for the money. She does it for the love, for the people, you know, all of that kind of thing. But it's just interesting, right? Just wanted to leave that there. But of course, this is before she was a super big channel of 50,000 subscribers. And yeah, there was pureness, or was there?
I'm just going to do whatever floats my boat for a little while and just see how it goes and what you guys like and what people seem to be enjoying, and make more of that along with what I enjoy. And I will film a proper life update at some point. So many millions of things have changed, so I will at some point film a little life update. I totally just got a phone call and lost my train of thought. But yeah, I'm just going to make my stuff and see how it goes. If you guys like it, that's great. I'm going to make what I enjoy. I'm going to tell you about my life. I think that's what I was saying. My life has changed so much. Like, I've moved a million times. I live in a different place. I'm at uni now. I have a new, I was going to say I have a new boyfriend. I don't have a new boyfriend. I have a boyfriend that I've been with for 2 years. But I still haven't like talked about it to you guys. And basically stuff's a lot better. Anyway, that was a massive digression. If any of you actually bothered to watch all of that, let me know. You're a real one.
Rachel, I watched all of it. I watched all of everything. So I guess I'm a real one. I'm letting you know. Okay, so I don't know why she's talking about trying different things on her channel in 2021, because she's actually been trying different things on her channel since 2016. I'm guessing that what she's actually prepping everyone for is she might be having some ideas about reaction content at this time. And she officially technically started her reaction channel. I'm going to cover it in the next video, covering Girl Defined, which is very interesting. I have a lot to say. But she mentions her boyfriend here. She's been seeing the same guy for a couple of years, which she has now come out officially as a lesbian. So this was just, you know, finding out who she was. And she actually shows him. We'll cover that in the next video as well. This video did not do as well, and it's probably because she had this massive life update in the video, whereas I feel like when you're looking at a video that says shoving my lip piercing back in after 2 years, people are probably clicking on it for exactly one reason, not to hear the life update.
And now I'm going to harm myself for your entertainment. Ah! Oh my god. Ah, fuck. Ah, fuck.
Just why? That's the thing that comes to mind. Just why? There was another one in 2021 too.
Ah, fuck.
And the final one was in 2024. So previously they'd all been performing well. This one did not. Not a bit. And I think that that's why it was the last one, because Rachel has evidenced so far that she is chasing the views. She's chasing the subscribers. Up to this point, they were doing well. Then this one flopped with only 4,600 views. And I do get it, like, to a point. I feel like if people have a YouTube channel, they do want it to head in the growth direction. I personally don't subscribe to the following views or following subs, just because I think it's far more important for the creator to be enjoying what they're doing. That should be the primary, and I think that translates in the content as well. But, you know, when you're a creator who is doing it for the money, This is a very valid tactic to take. Just a little bit on this video, and please remember, this is a 28-year-old Rachel. This was only 2 years ago.
In case you were worried, I'm not dead, I'm still alive, hi, and I have passed my driving test, which was one of the best things to happen this year, and I have a proper job in like a corporate kind of environment, so the sound of Teams now triggers me and I hear it in my sleep, but that's by the by.
So I'm not sure, but I'm imagining, she hasn't said it directly, but I'm imagining that her degree, which was an undergrad, is completed now since she's 28. She started when she was quite young, so unless she's doing it part-time, I would say it's finished at this point. She's out in the world, she's gotten a proper job, she is looking like the Rachel that we know today and shoving piercings in her septum. Super fun. Enjoy, my nuggets, because if I had to see it, so do you.
Okay, I'm just gonna push it through. Oh, that fucking hurts so bad. Ow, shit, sliding it is so painful. Well, it's in. There it is. Fucking hell, it's hurting so bad. Okay, let me line this up. Ouch. I think that's all the way through. Oh, yes, it is. Shit the bed, that hurts so fucking bad.
Isn't that lovely? And that was ending Rachel the piercing influencer. She did not do any more piercing videos after this in 2024. Okay, so we're going to jump back in time a little bit to 2015, 2016, where she decided to be a Lush influencer. Now, 18, 19-year-old Rachel got a job at Lush and was not at all subtle about it. I don't actually think, from the way the videos are described, I don't think she actually had a sponsorship from Lush. I think she was just, that was in her life, that was in her perspective, so she decided to talk about it online. It didn't go well. I'm not going to go through all of the videos, but here's a taste. And I will note that all of these videos are deleted now, every single one.
After a while, there's only so much you can say about the holes in your body. I'm branching out into cosmetic, beauty products, etc, etc. So today I'm going to tell you about my top 5 favourite Lush products of all time, all the products. So in ascending order from number 5 to number 1.
Now, I'm going to stop this clip here because look, I could not have any less interest than I do in what she has to say about Lush. I'm not going to play the whole videos. They are deleted. If you feel, my nuggets, in any way that your life is affected by not hearing what Rachel's top 5 products from Lush are, I'll tell you what, I will upload it on my clip channel so you can view it. Let me know if that is a life-changing experience that you need. Otherwise, we're going to move on. So remember when I said in September 2016, she was getting really sassy and snarky with her viewers. This is a deleted video that, again, was deleted before, like well before. I don't know when she deleted this one. It just, I know it's there. I can see that it was there. Entitled How to Get Hired at Lush 2016. This video did fairly well. You can see there's almost 2,000 views on it. And it was just continuing this series. It was deleted early. I don't think it was received well. And it is a bit weird, isn't it? Right? Like, because up to this point, she's been all piercing all the time. And now it's like, how to get hired at Lush. I don't know. I think you need to be careful with a channel when you're trying a pivot. I think it's important to give things a go more than just once. But I also think it's important to make sure that things are going to resonate with your audience. Like, for example, I just pivoted because Rachel was not uploading to Rosie. That is a slightly adjacent pivot because we're still talking about within GorlWorld and it's still talking about lol cow shenanigans and all of that kind of thing. But if I were to pivot to, say, how to repair small engines, it's too far. That's not going to, it might resonate with some of you. I'm not going to do that, don't worry. But I would lose a large amount of my dedicated audience who has gotten used to me being a GorlWorld or like general problematic people on the internet reactor. And I feel like going from piercing to Lush, this was just it was weird and it was executed poorly, and she actually still doesn't know how to pivot on a channel, to be fair. She really doesn't. She could do it, but yeah. The next one was also deleted. We're still doing Lush content. We're still in 2016. Let's go.
Welcome. This is my Lush series. I finished the other one and I've decided to start a new one. If you don't like Lush, don't watch it. It's very straightforward. But this one is called the Get a Sample series, and this is me suggesting products to you from Lush that I love, that I think you should go and get a sample of. Today I'm going to be talking about Ultra Bland. There is a hair inside the packaging.
Okay, so a couple of points. Firstly, you can already hear that the comments are wearing on her, right? If you don't like Lush videos, don't watch them, which is highlighting that even back then she didn't respect her audience. She didn't appreciate what they were doing for her and the support that they were giving by watching her videos. She still does that today. She hasn't grown in this realm at all. Also, she's on here spruiking a product but finds a hair in the packaging. Maybe edit that out, Rachel. Don't keep that in.
It's made with beeswax and rose, so it's not vegan, but I have lots left over, so I'm using it up. And I'm also not totally sure what I think about honey and beeswax in terms of veganism. I'm still doing a little bit of research, so let me know what your opinion is if you're vegan.
I just left this in just purely to document that at one point Rachel was practicing veganism, but we know that she's not, at least not a vegan today, because she did consume regular chocolate on a recent video. So I don't know where she stands in this. I just thought it was worth leaving in to document. If anyone has any information on this, do let me know. But one thing, without being indelicate, that I will make mention of, and especially because it runs so heavily parallel with Amber, as it always does, Rachel has clearly had some significant weight fluctuations through these years, right? And that's absolutely no criticism. I've had weight fluctuations as well in my life. I'm sure many of you have had it as well. But I do just kind of wonder if trying to be vegan was an attempt to try and lose weight or to gain the physique that she wanted. She talks a lot about body image in the next video that I'm going to cover, so I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know, maybe she really did wanted to go vegan for the protection of animals. I just have a feeling that that's probably not the case.
It is one of the best things that Lush sells, so I would definitely say get yourself a little sample of it, have a try, see how it works for you, and then maybe you'll love it as much as I do. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you later. Bye!
Those weird cuts in that, by the way, that wasn't me. That's just part of the video. So that was the second to last video about Lush, and this was officially technically hair influencing, but it is a Lush product, and just this is the only clip I'm going to play of this video, but just listen to how she delivers this. This is also still September of 2016, so that problematic era.
Hi, YouTube, what the fuck is up? This video is not about Lush. Stop having a go at me.
Stop having a go at me. This video is not about Lush. The Lush series did not go well for Rachel, but just highlighting how she's treating her viewers back then. I wouldn't necessarily, like I say, she's still young here, but she never grew. She never learned. She still treats her audience like this today. Okay, so we are finished with Rachel, the Lush influencer, and now we're going to move on to Rachel, the hair influencer. She didn't do too many hair videos, and the vast majority of them are actually deleted still. I'll just give you a taste of what was happening, because most of them were exclusively talking about the hair process. They were full of really loud, really awful copyright-free music, and it's honestly just not worth looking at.
Hello, today is hair dye day, so we are going to go to the shop. I've already been this morning to the corner sort of Afro-Caribbean hair shop to get stuff for my hair, but unfortunately I forgot to get a tinting brush, and I also forgot to get gloves. So we are going to go back out. I'm going to take you with me. I've never done this before, so I hope you're excited. Got my Dr. Pepper ready to go. Let's head out.
I don't know why in 2015 she was trying to make Dr. Pepper happen. And it's just like in Mean Girls, stop trying to make fetch happen, it's not gonna happen, Rachel. Stop doing the Dr. Pepper. But this video, it's worth noting, she actually fully doxed herself in this video. She walked around her neighborhood and walked to the shop that she was going to. And this is one of many things, many things that she had actually put on her channel that would have made it so easy for everybody to find her parents, find her brothers, you know, all of that kind of thing. It wasn't smart. I can understand making this mistake very early on, but keep in mind, I have this video, so it was only actually deleted recently. It was definitely still up at the time that she got doxxed, so is it no wonder that people found it? Also, worth noting that around this time, her YouTube channel was her government name as well, and you can still find that on the Wayback Machine. It's not even getting heavy into research, just normal things that reactors will do when trying to put historical things together. Okay, so that concludes the hair influencer Rachel, and let's get into 2021 beauty influencer Rachel. She did a few tutorials on makeup, and I'll talk about them in a second, but this is the intro.
Hello. One of you is adorable and asked me for a tutorial on the eye makeup I was wearing in one of my previous videos. So I'm going to do that for you. I've already got my base on and my eyebrows. Please don't judge the eyebrows. I accidentally shaved nearly half of my eyebrow off the other day, so they're very uneven, but we move. I already have my base on. In this look, you do kind of put glitter under here, so you could put your foundation on second, but it's better to put it on first because then you don't have to worry about blending the sides in. Although the shadows that we're using do have some fallout, so it's kind of annoying, but you can just flick the fallout away. Also, don't judge my hair. Let's get cracking.
I hate the clicking. I hate the noises, actually, generally speaking, that she does a lot in her videos, whether it's sniffing, whether it's cracking knuckles, whether it's clicking. It's just, there's a lot of sound in her videos. So this video didn't do well. It only got just under 3,000 views, which I have no doubt Rachel would have hated. She would have seen this as a failure. But realistically, she only did 2 makeup videos, which is, we know, absolutely not enough time to give your audience to adjust to a new kind of content. And they need time to decide whether that kind of content is going to be for them, whether they are watching you for your content or watching you for you. And it's a process, right? You need to do it sustained over a period of time to get enough data in order to know whether this kind of thing is going to work for your channel or not. The other video she did only got 245 views, so it didn't even do as well as this video that we're talking about today. And that is still a pattern that we're seeing from current day Rachel, because she tried to make a move into something that she felt was important with her feminism video, which, quote, flopped. Because she didn't see it as an immediate success, she wrote it off in her brain as, no, that's a failure, that's not going to make me money, that's not going to get me the views, so I'm not going to do it anymore. But one thing that I will say, and I will bring it up again in the next video that I cover as well, Rachel is really good at explaining things. This was a good makeup tutorial. Unfortunately, the beauty space is oversaturated, and I have no doubt that it's difficult to break into. It's the sort of thing that you need to commit to with consistency over a long period of time to be able to break through. But Rachel is well-paced, well-informed, able to deliver necessary information in a meaningful way and a way that is easy to understand. Rachel is a really good instructor. That is a strength of hers. And I actually think that this is the kind of thing that she should have stayed with. Not talking about potentially triggering and very serious topics that she does not have enough worldview or perspective to talk about, but instead instructing people on things. She has a warm way of doing it that makes it feel approachable. And I think that is an amazing quality in somebody who's trying to teach people things. And this should have been her wheelhouse. It's a shame that this video didn't do well. It's a shame that she's not patient enough to be able to push through this kind of thing. But this is her strength. This is a missed opportunity, in my opinion. And you know I don't have a lot of nice things to say about Rachel, but that, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. She is a damn good instructor. And so that kind of gets me thinking, why is Rachel so impatient? And this this could be just a personality trait that she has. Maybe she's the sort of person that requires immediate gratification. That would not be at all uncommon for the girls, shall we say. But it also makes me wonder if we've seen evidence of her parents being quite accomplished scholars in whatever fields they've gone to. We've also seen that the father is doing some pretty serious missionary-like work. So there's almost that like sense of going above and beyond to her parents. And I wondered in my previous video, was Rachel fancying herself so intelligent because she is from a family of really intelligent people and felt the need to keep up in some way? Or was it that her parents, out of love, I'm sure, overdid the, oh, you're so special, you're so amazing, you're capable of anything, and, you know, built that up within her, which kind of comes across as arrogance and cockiness and smugness and all of that delicious stuff that tends to go with Rachel. But what I kind of wonder, and I don't think we will really know because we're not there watching her parents having raised her and things like that. What I kind of wonder is, what if there was something along the lines of, you know, that child that was raised as a special child, like really intelligent, maybe there were some milestones hit a little bit early, and you know, there's already academics in the family, so there's that pressure to go on to university, so therefore you need to get good grades, etc. What if Rachel's core truth, and you know that when I talk about core truths, these are sometimes things that we even hide from ourselves, even things that we would never even admit in our darkest day to ourselves. What if Rachel's core truth is that she knows she is truly ordinary, but she feels the pressure to perform, to keep up, to achieve, to meet that imagery or pigeonhole that her parents had created? I don't know. I'm just looking at the potential perspectives, the potential complexities. None of that excuses what Rachel did. There's some absolutely heinous behavior there, but I'm just wondering if we could potentially be looking at a situation where there's perceived pressure to perform, and then somehow she found her niche and got carried away, and it spiraled into this weird, corrupted thing that is what turned into the Emily situation. And I don't know, but it might explain why, when she clearly has a natural aptitude for transferring information to other people, it's not a common thing. That's not something everybody can do. But to be faced with something that she's clearly so natural at and then give up on it because the numbers weren't good enough. Is that her saying, well, I deserve better than that, so that's no good, that's a failure? Or is it being so ready to drop things so quickly because she needs to find the avenue that will allow her to perform, which is exactly what piercing did for a time until it didn't, right? And then she found GorlWorld, and that worked for a time until it didn't. So I don't know, but let me know if you have any other theories on this. I am of a firm belief that none of us are two-dimensional characters, which, as you know, is the criticism that I bring to Rachel, because she constantly reduces people to two-dimensional characters. So yeah, let me know what you see, because I think there's something here. I think there's something here that is indicative of what went on in her past and what will go on in her future, because it's not been dealt with in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so that concludes our piercing to makeup influencer Rachel. And you can see already she's just using this like massive splattergun effect, and it's going to get even more random in the next video that I cover, because we're going to be looking at topics like crochet, religion, and substances. Yes, illicit kind of substances. And I don't know what she was thinking, but it gets so clucking random and wild that I just don't quite know what to do with it. And that next video is going to take us all the way up to her entry into GorlWorld. Oh, sort of. Almost into GorlWorld. Definitely as a reactor. But you can see that the issues that we've had with Rachel after this major incident that went down in November of last year, these are all personality traits that have been there for years. This is authentically who she is, and why I say that I actually do think that on her channel she should present herself as authentic, because all of the problems that she's encountered while in her time in GorlWorld have been because she's been pretending to be somebody that she's just not. And that's okay. You don't have to be that person. I think it's amazing to aspire to better yourself and to be a better person, but when you're aspiring to be a better person, you actually need to take steps to become said person rather than just cosplaying one, in a sense. And this whole mean girl, snarky, slightly sassy, tongue-in-cheek humor, that is her. And she has, to her credit, the last few videos been doing that. I do think it's a valid tactic. I do, however, think she needs to pull away from Amber content, because at the moment, what's happening is if Amber isn't posting, Rachel isn't posting, which just makes that obsession look even deeper than think it might be. So let me know what you think about influencer Rachel's. Is this something you would have watched? Did you watch it back in the day? I know I have a lot of ex-Rachel supporters, and some of you were OG back in this time frame. But stay tuned. The second part to this video will be my next video, unless some breaking news happens, but it's pretty much ready to go. I just need to record and edit my part of it, so it shouldn't be too long. And I will be aiming to increase my output anyway, so you won't need to wait a month. Oh, hopefully. I shouldn't promise. I should not promise. If we've learned anything from GorlWorld, it's that we should not promise. But if you're still here listening to me, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I just want to give an extra big thank you to all of my clockers. You truly make my world go round. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget, if you are a clocker or if you want to be, jump on Patreon or Discord for the members only streams. We're watching Hoarders at the moment as selected by the clockers, and once that season's over, we'll start another show and we'll just cycle through. But for now, that is all the clocks I have left to give. Stay golden, my little nuggets, and I'll catch you next time.
Hey! I'm gonna go watch another video. Let's go!